Ma'am, may mga nagsasabi sa timing daw ng pagkakahain ng ika-4 na impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte, baka magkakonekta ho yan kasi matapos nagdeklara na nga, natatakbo siya bilang Pangulo sa 2028 elections. Ano ho ba ang tingin nyo dyan?
Well, we cannot comment on that, no? In as far as the Justice Committee is concerned, ang trabaho namin is to wait kung kailan ma-transmit ito sa Justice Committee and to conduct the same deliberation and evaluation that we had, similar dun sa nangyari sa impeachment complaint against the President, no? As to whatever is the motive about the filing of the fourth impeachment complaint, we are totally unaware of that.
Okay, pero sa nakikita ho natin, parang yung unang 3 at ito pong pang-4 ay parang pare-pareho lang halos yung kanila pong na doon sa content ng kanila pong inihain for impeachment. Ano? Meron ho bang limitasyon o deadline sa bilang ho na maaari pang maghain ng impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara?
Under the rules, Connie, no, wala naman kasing restriction kung ilan ang pwedeng ma-file na complaint for as long as it is being filed within the reglementary period, no? We have to remember, hindi naman nagbago yung Francisco ruling, what operates initiation in as far as impeachment complaint is concerned is kapag may referral na sa Justice Committee. To this date, wala pang referral, no? I think the first 3 impeachment complaints were transmitted already to the Office of the Speaker. Ito namang pang-4, perhaps nasa office pa ng Secretary General. But since wala pang nare-refer sa Justice Committee at hindi pa rin naglalaps yung 10 session days when the Office of the Speaker is supposed to include all this impeachment of complaints in the order of business of the plenary. So I think pwede pa mag-file ng impeachment complaint.
Okay,
Connie?
posible ho ba daw na makaapekto kaya sa gagawing pagtalakay ng Justice Committee sa impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara yung kanyang maagang pag-anunsyo ng pagtakbo bilang Pangulo sa 2028 elections, ma'am?
I hope it will not affect, no? Kasi sana ma-realize ng mga members ng Justice Committee that this is a constitutional duty that we really have to face, no? This is not a question of gusto ba namin o ayaw namin. This is not a question of pro-administration ba kami o pro-Duterte ba kami. No. This is a constitutional duty na kailangang harapin ng members ng Justice Committee and ultimately by the members of all the members of the House when we already approve or disapprove the committee report of the Justice Committee.
Okay, para naman ho dun sa Makabayan Block, taktika raw yung deklarasyon ni VP Sara para mapigilan daw yung pag-usad ng impeachment case laban sa kanya. Ganyan rin ho ba kaya yung nakikita ninyong sentimiento ngayon sa House?
Connie, I am very conservative. My perspective is as chairperson of the Justice Committee, no? So regardless of the consequence of the pronouncement of the Vice President kahapon and regardless of the motive of the complainants behind this 4 impeachment complaints already, di ba? Ang iniisip lang namin sa Justice Committee is for us to be able to do our duty in as far as the determination of probable cause supporting the impeachment complaint is concerned, Connie.
Alright. Malinaw po yan. At may mga karagdagang tanong pa po ang aking partner na si Raffy Tima.
Magandang tanghali po. Kung ano po yung update dun sa 3 naunang impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara? Nabanggit nyo kanina na transmit na sa opisina ni House Speaker Bogie D. Ano na po yung susunod na hakbang doon?
Yes, so from the date of referral to the Office of the Speaker, no, I'm just checking, no, the first and the second complaint were referred to the Office of the Speaker on February 5. Tapos itong third complaint naman referred to Office of the Speaker on February 9, no? So counting from February 5, Rafi, no? The Office of the Speaker has a period of 10 session days within which to include the impeachment complaints in the order of business. At kailangan ito ma-observe strictly, ha? Because if we don't, mag-ooperate yung pronouncement ng Supreme Court in the recent resolution that because of inaction of the House of Representatives upon the lapse of the reglementary period, considered or deemed initiated already ang impeachment complaint, no? So, given these dates, no, Rafi, yung first and second complaint, unang na-transmit sa Office ni Speaker February 5. So, from February 5, we should count 10 session days, and within that period, dapat mai-include na sa order of business either some or all of the impeachment complaints if that is the desire of the Office of the Speaker.
At ngayon, 4 na po yung impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara. Ganun din po ba yung magiging order kung ano yung nauna o kung ano yung mauunang makarating po sa inyo galing sa opisina ng House Speaker? Yun ang una yung tatalakayin.
Well, we're supposed to tackle everything na marirefer sa amin, no? Just like what we did in the past impeachment deliberation against the President, no? So, ang ginawa naman kasi namin doon ay dineliberate namin per impeachment complaint. And then, we also deliberated upon per ground, di ba? So, we will be following the same parameter, the same mode, the same deliberation pagdating dito sa impeachment process against the Vice President, no? But what is important, we should be mindful about that February 5, no? Kasi February 5, na-transmit sa Office ni Speaker yung first 2 impeachment complaints. So, very significant yung date na yon. Kasi from February 5, dyan tayo bibilang ng 10 session days within which dapat ma-include sa order of business ng plenary ang impeachment complaint. Not only those 2, it may include also the 3rd and the 4th. Basta yung 10 session days, it should be counted from February 5.
Okay. Sa payag po ng defense team ni VP Sara, itutugon daw sila sa tamang panahon. Alinsunod sa konstitusyon, kailan po ba yung tamang panahon na dapat makatugon sila doon sa mga reklamo laban sa Vice Presidente?
Well, since Rafi, itong 4 na impeachment complaints ay filed under the first mode, no? Sapagkat endorsed ito by few members of the House, no? So, I anticipate na ito lahat ay ma-refer sa Justice Committee. So, the proper time when to file an answer will be after the determination of form and substance. Doon tayo sa step 3, no? Remember, we summarize the process of the Justice Committee into 5. One is the determination of sufficiency in form. Second is determination of sufficiency in substance. Third, kapag parehas sufficient in form and substance, bibigyan na natin ng notice si respondent for her to file an answer within the period of 10 session days, no? 10 calendar days, no? And then from there, ay pwede pang sumagot ang complainant by way of reply. And then the respondent may answer also by way of a rejoinder. And then they may also consider the submission of all evidence, including the swearing in of the affidavit and counter affidavit. At kapag nakompleto niya, that's the time that they will proceed to the whether there is sufficient basis to support the impeachment complaint. That is our step 3, Rafi. After that, proceed tayo sa step 4. Dito natin iimbitahin yung parties. Complainant, witness, and even the respondent. And again, palaging tinatanong ng mga tao, paano kung hindi pumunta yung respondent? It's actually her prerogative, no? Ito rin yung naging sagot ko during the impeachment process against the President. Whether she comes or not, that's her prerogative because yung presence niya is part of due process.
Okay.
So kung hindi siya dadating, it will only be interpreted as her waiver of her right to be present during the hearing, no? And after that hearing, which is our step 4, we proceed to step 5. That is the determination of the existence of probable cause, no? Whatever will be the decision of the Justice Committee, isusulat namin yan sa committee report, ifo-forward sa plenary, which will be subject to the vote of at least 1/3 of all the members of the House.
Okay, medyo mahaba-haba pa pala pero magsisimula yan kapag natanggap na ninyo yung galing sa opisina ng Speaker. Maraming salamat po sa oras na binahagi niyo po sa Balitang Hali.
Kong, unang-unang tanong po siguro dito, 4 na yung impeachment complaint na nasa tanggapan ng Speaker. Ano po ang inaasahan, ika-4 yung nasa tanggapan ng Speaker, ano po ang aasahan ng publiko na gagawin ng Kamara? Kasi nasa inyo po ang unang bola, ika nga kung ano kahihinatnan nitong mga impeachment complaint na ito, lalo na dyan sa Committee on Justice po ninyo, Chair.
Well, Robert, no, kung ano yung nakita ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino sa naging impeachment process against President Bongbong Marcos
Opo.
Jr., yun din yung proseso na gagawin ng Justice Committee with respect to the 4 impeachment complaints against the Vice President, no? So, maalala nyo, diniscuss namin ito per impeachment complaint, no? And then, while we were discussing each impeachment complaint, we went through per ground incorporated in the impeachment complaint, no? So, makikita ulit natin yung we will be eliciting the comments and manifestations of the members of the Justice Committee with respect, of course, to our step 1. That is the sufficiency in form, and it will be followed by our determination. Nung number 2 naman, sufficiency in substance. Kapag pumasa dito sa first 2 steps, we proceed to step 3. Mag-i-issue na ng notice ang Justice Committee to the respondent to file her answer, to which the complainant can file a reply, and to which also the respondent can file a rejoinder, no? Dito rin natin ginagawa yung pagtanggap ng lahat ng mga ebidensya, including the swearing in of all the affidavit and counter affidavits. After that, we will proceed to the determination of sufficiency of sufficient ground for impeachment complaint, no? Kapag pasado dito sa step 3, we proceed to step 4. Ito naman yung hearing proper kung saan imbitahan na natin ang parties, the complainant, the witness, and even the respondent. And
dun
again,
pa
I wish to
lang. Oo.
Yes, that's our step 4, Doris, no? Tapos dito sa step 4, palaging tinatanong ng mga tao,
Ayan.
paano kung hindi dumating yung respondent?
Oo.
Diba? So our answer to that, ito pong participation or presence ni respondent is part of her right to due process. So kung hindi siya dumating, it will simply be interpreted as her waiver of her right to be present during the hearing, no? Pag natapos tayo dito sa step 4, Doris and Robert, proceed na tayo sa step 5. That is, doon na tayo magbobotohan whether or not there is probable cause that support the impeachment complaint, no? Ano man ang desisyon ng Justice Committee dito sa step 5, isusulat natin yan in a committee report na ifo-forward natin sa plenary na kailangan namang ma-approve by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House of Representatives. That's the entire process.
Ayan yung
Okay.
entire process. But the question is, Congressman, given the fact na ang Vice President naghayag, natatakbo siya sa pagka-presidente sa darating na eleksyon, nakikita ba ninyo or napag-uusapan po ba ninyo na yung posibilidad na mas bumaba yung bilang ng susuporta dyan sa impeachment
Yan.
complaint na yan? Baka maging malabnaw sa iba, ayaw na nila?
Of course, that is a possibility, Robert, no? Kaya lang, I wish to remind the members of the House, no, na regardless of the consequence of the pronouncement of the Vice President, regardless of the motive of the complainant in filing these impeachment complaints, sana maalala ng House members, we have a constitutional duty which we owe to the sovereign Filipino people. Itong aming duty ito, we don't owe it to the President, neither to the Vice President. We owe it to the Filipino people, no? Of course, hindi ko inaalis yung possibility na maapektuhan itong ating mga kasama sa House of Representatives, but I am hoping that they will be very conscious na itong aming duty ito is neither to the President nor to the Vice President. This is a duty which we owe to the
Apo.
Filipino people.
Pero sa inyo pong pakikipag-usap sa inyo mga kasamahan dyan, mayroon na po bang nagpaparamdam sa kanila? Mayroon na po bang so-called panggagapang para sa mga magiging boto?
Wala pa akong nararamdaman, Doris, no? Siguro dahil hindi pa naman na-refer sa Justice Committee, no? Right now, wala pa kaming jurisdiction over the 4 impeachment complaints na, sapagkat nasa office pa siya ni Speaker. Perhaps in the succeeding days, makikita natin kung meron bang mga ganyang pangyayari sa House of Representatives.
Oo. Pero asahan natin na magkakaroon ng ganyan, ma'am.
Well, it's hard to speculate, no? It's hard to speculate, but we have to understand that impeachment is not just legal, it's not just constitutional, it is likewise a political process. So, very significant din yung political alignment ng mga members ng House. Bagaman, I wish to remind them, we have a duty to maintain independence and impartiality in evaluating and hearing the impeachment complaints.
Opo, Congressman, provided halimbawa na i-refer na sa Committee on Justice na pinamumunuan po ninyo itong 4 na impeachment complaints laban sa Vice President, paano naman natin magagarantiya o masasagot yung publiko, lalo na doon sa mga supporter ng Vice President, na hindi pamumulitika ito kasi sabihin, nagdeklara lang na tatakbo pagka-presidente, ginigipit na ninyo. Nagdeklara lang na tatakbo sa pagka-presidente, lahat na lang kinalkal na ninyo. How do we respond to that po?
Well, first and foremost, we have to understand, naka-file na yung 3 impeachment complaints, di ba? Even prior to the pronouncement of the Vice President. And long before time, anticipated naman, I believe, ng mga Pilipino na talagang tatakbo si Vice President given the survey, the very positive survey na nakukuha niya, no? But as to the assurance that we will be giving to the supporters of the Vice President, of course, meron po tayong rules, meron po tayong parameters which we will be following, and definitely we will be abiding strictly to the rules which we likewise observe during the impeachment process against the president, no? What we wanted to tell to the Filipino people is kung paano po kami naging objective in our deliberation and assessment of the 3 impeachment complaints against the president. We will be adopting the same parameter, the same rules, the same deliberation, the same approach pagdating po dito sa 4 impeachment complaints against the Vice President. And of course, this will be live streamed, no? So makikita nila. Bagaman, I want to make some reservation na alam naman namin from the very start that we cannot please everyone.
Opo.
No matter how objective we become in hearing these 2 impeachment complaints, no? Una yung kay Presidente, pangalawa dito kay Vice President, no?
Kong?
Nawawala ang kanyang signal. Mobile yata siya eh. Oo, gumagalaw siya.
Please, especially now we understand that there is political tao who are watching us as we hear this impeachment.
Opo.
Hello?
Ayan.
Yan,
Hello,
go ahead,
Kong.
ma'am.
Hi.
Ayan, narinig tayo. Pero isa pa po, bago ko ipasa ulit sa partner ko,
Okay lang,
doon sa other side naman po, na kung baka sabihin naman, tatakbo ka pala ha,
Yan,
para matalo ka, ilalabas namin lahat ng ito na ibinabato sa'yo at gagamitin namin ang impeachment complaint laban sa'yo. Baka maakusaan din po kayo ng ganun. Paano naman po ang respond ng Committee on Justice sa ganito?
Well, una, gusto ko lang i-advance na we cannot please everyone. No? We cannot please everyone. Alam po natin yan. Even dun sa naging impeachment process against the president, alam namin na merong na-displease. And we are anticipating the same thing dito sa impeachment process against the Vice President. Whatever will be the decision of the Justice Committee, palaging merong hindi mapli-please. No? Nonetheless, I wish to assure the Filipino people that we will apply strictly the rules, no?
Opo.
As I have said before, kung ano yung nakita nilang parameter, test, deliberation, approach in the impeachment process against the president, we will be adopting the same thing pagdating dito sa 4 impeachment complaints against the vice president.
Opo.
And ito yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi. This is not a question of gusto ba namin ito o ayaw namin ito. This is not a question of pro-administration ba kami or pro-Duterte ba kami. This is a constitutional duty to the Filipino people, and we owe them the impartiality and the independence that we need to take as we evaluate these 4 impeachment complaints.
Opo, ma'am. Meron po ba kayong target na timeline para tapusin ito? Kasi ang dami nga, 3, may pang-4 pa. At saka pangalawang tanong ko po, alin po doon ang uunahin ninyong talakayin?
Siguro depende dun sa transmittal, no? Kasi merong dumadating sa Justice Committee na written transmittal of the impeachment complaint when they refer this already, no? So doon namin makikita siguro yung order by which this impeachment complaints will be transmitted to us will be observed also by the Justice Committee. But then again, kung anong ginawa namin before, yun din ang gagawin namin ngayon. We will tackle the impeachment complaint one at a time, no?
Apo.
And then as we tackle one impeachment complaint, we will be deliberating on each ground incorporated in the impeachment complaint, no? Pag bibigyan natin ng comment and manifestations lahat ng justice members per ground and per impeachment complaint, just like
Alright.
what we did in the
Okay.
impeachment process against the
O,
president.
sige ma'am,
Ayun.
tayo mag-aantabay po kami dyan sa live streaming na yan. Sigurado ako marami tayong kababayan na sobrang interesado kung paano tatakbo itong impeachment
Oo.
proceedings na ito.
Kada mag-live sila, ang tataas ng views lagi.
Oo,
Ibig
dapat
sabihin,
lang.
interesado yung publiko.